You don't understand Coriolis, Nathan.
Oh, is it that time again? So Coriolis is an apparent deviation caused by you rotating underneath an inertial reference frame. So the object travels in a straight line, but from your position rotating underneath it appears to take a curved path, when in reality it's taking a straight path. It just appears to curve because you rotate underneath. I absolutely understand the Coriolis effect, just more projection.
You don't understand that definition. You don't understand that just because there is a relative movement of someone, say on the equator, walking, say at 5 miles an hour, or even an aeroplane, that the Coriolis is insignificant in comparison.
Oh, it seems you don't understand Coriolis effect. If you're walking on the non-inertial reference frame, then you're on the non-inertial reference frame. If you're flying, then you're not on the non-inertial reference frame. So it seems that you don't understand. You're clearly stupid. Obviously, to have a Coriolis effect, you've got to leave the non-inertial reference frame. Walking on it wouldn't suit that description. Clearly, you're a moron.
You don't understand, do you, Nathan? That when you move relative to the Earth's surface, you've left the Earth's reference frame.
You've left it when you're walking. Yes, you are stupid. What a moron. He thinks you leave a surface when you're walking on it. What a complete retard Rumpus is. How thick are you? What a stupid moron. You're a moron.
You are a moron.
You are a moron.
And the fact you don't...
You're forgetting to use the word utter, Rumpus.
You don't understand Coriolis, Rumpus. You seem to think that you leave a non-inertial reference frame when you walk on it. That makes you a moron.
You moron.
You moron.
Utter. Utter.
What a stupid
Don't forget
idiot.
it.
Understand the Coriolis so well. Please tell me what the Coriolis force is for, say, an aeroplane.
Oh, the Coriolis force for an aeroplane would be the apparent deflection caused when you observe it travelling in a straight line, but from your position, it appears, i.e. an apparent force, to be deviating.
Right, so tell me what...
Right, oh, so I do know. Oh, now you tell me how somebody walking leaves a non-inertial reference frame.
That's the definition of being a different reference frame, you utter...
I'll ask again. He's just ignored me. I'll ask it over and over again until he listens, because from this point, this is Rumpus's trick. He thinks he's clever, but he's not. What he'll do is he'll talk indefinitely so he doesn't hear me repeat the question. But I'm going to make absolutely sure that should he be listening, he'll get to absolutely hear my question really slowly. I'd like you to describe how somebody walking on a non-inertial reference frame is leaving the non-inertial reference frame. Go.
I missed the start of that. Say it again.
No worries. I'd like you to explain how somebody walking on a non-inertial reference frame is leaving.
Correct. Well done. You've got it. It's a success.
No, not well done. It's a question. I'm asking you, the dick, the moron, the thicko, who described walking on a non-inertial reference frame in reference to Coriolis, and how that is leaving the non-inertial reference frame. I'll say it 15 more times. We've got 10 minutes. I don't mind saying it over and over again to you, a moron retard.
And the definition of something...
So he's talking over the top of me now. It's what I pointed out he would do. Rather than listen to the question in detail, which is what he's asked me to do, he'll just rumpus me, talk indefinitely, and not listen to the question, which I will repeat again now. You have declared that walking is an example of Coriolis effect, and I want you, the moron, the thicko, the retard, Rumpus, to detail how walking on a non-inertial reference frame is leaving a non-inertial reference frame. Go.
Excellent, you moron.
Can you present me,
Right,
by the way,
because
Nathan?
Right, here we go. You don't understand what a reference frame is, and you don't understand how you leave a reference frame. The definition of being in the same reference frame as something else is having no movement with respect to the other reference frame. You utter.
So I've asked a question. I want you to detail how walking on a non-inertial reference frame is leaving a non-inertial reference frame. And all you seem to do is ignore the question. So I'll ask it again. I don't mind asking it 15 more times for you to answer it with an obfuscation over and over again, Rumpus. I'm going to humiliate you, you total tard. So, Rumpus, I'll ask again. We'll count them up after the show how many times I've asked you this question to detail your example of walking on a non-inertial reference frame and how that's leaving
But relative to a reference...
See, just to open the mic, show he's not listening, he's talking over me constantly rather than listen to the question, so he can claim he hasn't heard it. Yeah? What he did last time. I'll highlight the trick, then ask the question again, for the tard who's obfuscating his humiliation by not detailing how walking on a non-inertial reference frame is leaving a non-inertial reference frame. See, still talking over me. I don't mind doing this indefinitely, Rumpus, just humiliating you while you use your only trick to get out of this verbal humiliation I'm giving you. Keep rumpusing, my friend, while I make the audience absolutely aware that you're obfuscating this question. How is walking on a non-inertial reference frame leaving a non-inertial reference frame?
If you are moving relative to a reference frame, you are no longer in the reference frame. This is...
If you are walking relative to it, how are you walking relative to it if you are on it?
Do you? Sorry?
You're not walking relative to it if you're on it. You're part of it.
If you are moving relative to a reference frame, you are no longer in the reference frame. That's the definition of being in a different reference frame.
No, if you're moving in sync with the reference frame, then you are part of that reference frame.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Darwin. He's just stupid moron. And he thinks that by... What's the words? Ad hominem attack. That's the one. By using an ad hominem attack at the end of his shit explanation and obfuscation of my question, how is walking on a reference frame leaving the reference frame? He's not going to answer because it's a stupid assertion and demonstrates his stupidity in regards to Coriolis effect. Walking on a reference frame isn't leaving a reference.
Walks funny and has a little jump between each step or something. Little.
No, we're walking. We're walking. I know what walking is. Walking, your feet stay in contact. It's not running. We were talking about walking. Walking, your feet stay in contact. And all Rumpus is doing
like a little vision of like the Rumpus, like.
That's all right.
You know,
I'll ask him specifically.
Between each step.
He used the word walking, and I know what walking is. All he's doing in the meantime is rumpusing the shit out of the Discord server, so no one can hear a word of what's being said. You know, basically, he's closed down that part of this show.
Aww.
So Nathan, does this mean Rumpus doesn't believe anymore the air is stuck to the earth?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you could potentially ask him, but he'll never hear your question because he's basically just talking non-stop in the Discord server.
Well,
why don't you ask him to pick from the depiction that you put up on screen? Which one is it? Ask him. And then you can draw the consequences.
May I continue my point? I just want to make sure I understood what his doublespeak was.
He's saying that they don't understand the most basic element of all this.
I'll shut him up. You're about to ask him a question. Before you start, he's got to interrupt before you even get the question in, 10th man.
Do you like what I'm sharing? That's what I envision.
Many people talking.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'm just trying to understand what he's saying. Is he saying that when you're walking, you're leaving the reference frame?
I'll explain to you. If you're gonna unmute me, is it too scared to let me speak? Is it too scared to let me speak?
I'm terrified. I'm really scared. Are you leaving the reference frame when walking? That's
correct. That's the definition of being indifferent.
You are leaving a reference frame when walking on a reference frame. Can we get that in a full quote?
Yes, you have a relative velocity to the reference frame of the Earth's surface. Therefore, you're no longer in that reference frame. I mean, the fact you don't understand this and you think this is controversial just defines you as an utter moron.
So Rumpus, now that you've committed to that, how about the air and the atmosphere going with the Earth? What's happening there?
Yeah. Well, the air as a body moves. Obviously, you've got winds and things, but it moves with the Earth. Yes, it's in the same reference frame as the atmosphere, as the Earth. Yeah.
Right. Oh, wait, and there's no Coriolis.
Arwin, let 10th man go ahead. 10th man.
Jeepers. So the man walking at a very slow pace leaves the reference frame, and all the wind, atmosphere, and everything doesn't.
Well, obviously winds are relative. They've left the Earth's reference frame, but the body of the atmosphere in general, as an overall thing, is in the same reference frame as the Earth's surface.
Say
But
that
the
again,
winds
but a
and
little
things
different.
the winds and things complicate the issue. Obviously, you've got local movement, but if we take the atmosphere as a body, as a whole thing, and pretend it's all solid and isn't moving with having winds in it, then yes, it is in the same
Well,
reference
either-
frame.
Where they're being
Sorry,
pretend.
just one
Excuse
note.
me.
The
Please don't
atmosphere.
interrupt.
Sorry, 10th man. Just got to get this note in. So the atmosphere is not solid. It's gas. It's an anisotropic, inhomogeneous mixture of gases.
Yeah, it's complicated. So, but if
No, it's just not solid as you described in your example. So you're just stupid, a moron, because you've described gas as a solid. Gas is fundamentally
literally
not a
just said,
solid.
let's pretend it's
Sorry, can I
solid.
just... Sorry, mind warped.
Sorry.
You moron, Rumpus.
Come on.
You used the word solid when describing gas. You are retarded on a level beyond comprehension. The gas is a gas and fundamentally not solid.
to make it simple for you,
It's just rumpusing me while I tear a strip off him. The audience will still hear me pointing out that you have used the word solid when describing gas. You utter moron.
morons, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just rumpusing me with ad homs while I actually detail how stupid he is for describing a gas as solid. What a moron.
Muting moron.
Yeah,
Nathan-
you're rumpusing me, Rumpus. I'm pointing out that you used the word solid. You're not addressing my argument, but rumpusing the Discord server, while I point out that gas is never going to be sitting in that category that you used with the word solid. That's retarded.
To make it simple for you, Nathan, to make it simple for you so you could understand, because obviously you don't understand very much.
No, that's just another ad hominem. No address to the fact that gas definitely not solid.
Come on, guys. This is nonsense.
Not,
He wasn't claiming that.
Arwen.
He was just describing it in an example. He's
Arwen.
plenty as stupid without this, okay?
Sorry, he described gas as solid. Those.
No, I did not, you moron. Oh,
He
my
just
God.
You
used it
used
as
the
an
word
example.
solid. That's what you
Straw
described
man.
it as.
Straw man.
If it's solid, not straw man, that's what you said. Those were your words.
Like, to make it simple for you.
Those were your
That's it.
words. Oh, to make it simple. So you did say those words, then you did use
to
the
make
word
it
solid
simple
then.
for you, Nathan. So
Oh,
you
to make it simple. In other words, yes, he did use those words. Not a straw man, just wrong. Gas is not solid. Regardless of your description of making it simple for me, you're just retarded. Because gas is not
It wasn't the
solid.
subject. He was talking
Why
about
are you
the
rumpusing me,
reference
Arwin?
rate. No,
Gas is not
look,
solid.
Arwen.
No matter how much you want to
wasn't
agree with him,
claiming
Arwin.
that.
Yeah, he
Arwen.
did. Yeah, he did. He's just agreed and said it's to make it simple for me, Arwin. So you're wrong also. He used
No,
the word...
He said as
He
if.
used the word solid. And I pointed out that it's an anisotropic, inhomogeneous mixture of gases and absolutely not solid, even though he wants to tell us that it's to make it simple for us.
Yes, but I've got to make things simple for you, Nathan.
See?
Said as
See?
if.
See?
Make
He's
it-
trying to make it simple for us, Arwin, by describing something that is not solid as solid. Wrong. Retarded. Incorrect. Okay?
Irrelevant. You said as if. He was only describing the lockstep movement of the atmosphere.
Oh, well, it
That
doesn't...
Didn't have anything to
it-
do with what.
Yeah, it does, Arwin. You're pissing me right off. It can't move in lockstep if it's completely separate and not solid. But for some reason, you also now want to rumpus this point, so I've got to shut Arwin's line down. Because for some reason, when he describes the atmosphere in lockstep and uses the word solid, describing gas moving in lockstep, and I absolutely pummel it by pointing out that it's not solid, that it's an inhomogeneous mixture of gases, that it's not solid. And he agrees that he has used solid by saying it's to make it simple. No, it's to lie about it being in lockstep, which it could only be if it was solid and somehow velcroed to the atmosphere as a solid. But it can't be, because it's not solid. It's a mixture of gases flowing freely in all directions, and is never going to travel in lockstep with his reification of a spinning world. It's absolutely on topic, Arwen. It surprises me that you'd want to rumpus this. But there we go. Such is life. Very strange times.
Rumpus,
Okay.
atmosphere is lockstep, but man walking is not lockstep.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, total bollocks, doublespeak.
Well, that would mean that walking, like with the spin of the Earth,
Yeah, something actually
Make you
attached,
go,
Arwin.
slower
Arwin.
against it.
Summary time.
Wouldn't it?
Something actually attached, like a man walking on the surface, according to Rumpus, is in a separate reference frame, moving in relation to the reference frame it's on. However, gas, which he describes as solid, is actually moving in lockstep with this non-inertial reference frame.
I'm just going by the reference frame claims, that's all. And Rumpus is saying, okay, the gas is moving with it, but when you move, you don't. So that means that you, as you walk, would be affected by Coriolis. So if you walk in one direction of the presupposed spin of the Earth, you would be going faster than in the other. If
That's
you
correct.
are indeed a separate reference frame, as Rumpus claims.
Yes, that's correct. So what he's saying is walking, you will absolutely be affected by Coriolis effect. However, the fact that we have surface winds, no, they're solid. They move in lockstep with the rotating surface of the Earth, giving rise to zero Coriolis effect, because you'd need two separate reference frames in order to give rise to a Coriolis effect. But as we established earlier on this show, Rumpus is fundamentally retarded. He's stupid, and he keeps projecting that I don't understand reference frames, apparent deviation, the Coriolis effect in essence, while he simultaneously tells us that we have a solid gas in lockstep with a rotating non-inertial reference frame, which wouldn't give rise to Coriolis effect in the slightest on Earth. So he's just fundamentally retarded, a moron, to put the correct terminology on it, and projecting, because he keeps telling us that we don't understand this. Well, he would need to understand that you'd need a separate atmosphere, which it absolutely is. It's not a solid, to have a Coriolis effect. But Rumpus is thick. He doesn't understand what Coriolis effect is. Rumpus, you've conceded. Coriolis affects everything that's not fixed to the Earth, as it should. So planes, helicopters, balloons. Oh, just bullets, lol. Shout out to Ray Nimrod for the super chat. Really do appreciate your support. And with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you. Smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!